Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Schlage number A301-402. This is an outside cam unit. This is used on Schlage A-series locks, specifically the 40 function, the 53 function, and the
Sorry,
80...
I missed that. Could you say it again, please?
They're listening. The 40 function, the 53 function, and the 85 function. There is a
Okay,
link
I found
below.
this on the web for 40 function of the 53 function. Check it out.
There is a link below this video to a document called Parts Drawing, and that is out of the service manual, the Schlage service manual. You'll see that on the 40, 53, and 85 function. That's part number 11. And when you scroll to the fourth page in that document, you'll see the part number listed. What's nice about that chart is it will show you what functions it works in. The 40, the 44, which is discontinued. I've never even seen that. The 55, which is discontinued. I've never seen that either. That service manual is probably quite... Yeah, it's 25 years old at this point, or pushing that anyway. The exploded parts drawing is helpful because it will put you in a position of being able to, and I'm looking at it on a screen here, will be able to put you into a position of understanding, there's no, on this item, there are no published installation instructions that I've ever seen, but this will show you how the lock goes together. If you are going to be disassembling it and putting it back together. Interesting fact, it was Walter Schlage who actually invented the key and knob type cylindrical lock and is credited with this invention that is inherently the A-series lock, the D-series lock, and others. Disassembling the lock is relatively simple and straightforward, and the reason that it is so is because there's really not that many parts. But also, you've got a handful of parts in this piece. There might be, 4 pieces here, but this cam unit is already an assembled product, so you don't have to worry about disassembling these base components. And the reason I say that it's relatively straightforward is because when you disassemble it and replace your part and put it back together, you'll know you've got it right when it works correctly. And you'll know that you don't if anything doesn't work right. And once it goes back together correctly, it will work flawlessly. So that's always been my tip-off. Well, it doesn't really quite work like it should. Let's take it apart and see what we did wrong. Something might be turned around or something might be just simply not correct. But that cam unit, you're going to approach that. And I've taken A chassis apart plenty of times because a client will come in and say, here, I need keys for this. Okay, where are the keys? I don't know. If I had the keys, I wouldn't be here. So if I was going to try to pick the cylinder open, if I was going to try to do other, I can't shim it open. If I was going to try to impression a key, that would take forever, and I would probably never get it open. But I would certainly be able to get it open by disassembling the lock. Inside knob comes off, trim comes off, the chassis cover comes off, the 2 cotter pins, the cover comes off, the retractor hub, its springs, all of that comes apart, and at that point you have access to the cam plug. If I'm going to try to get the cylinder out, I'm going to go a little bit further so that I can get to the back of the tailpiece and manipulate that to the point where I can remove the exterior knob and then have access to the cylinder. If you're going to service these locks, and we have clients that are either locksmiths and certainly service the locks, or people who are not locksmiths but they are engineers on a large property or an installation, and they routinely will break these down and service them themselves, is the bottom line. The rebuildable function of the Schlage A-series and so many of their other series is really why I suggest that people consider an investment in Schlage, because the parts drawings are published, the parts are available, and they're generally in stock. Okay, again, relatively easy to put together. I would, if you're doing it for the first time, I'd probably take some pictures of you doing it as you're going along,
I missed that.
so that you can have something to fall back on should you get lost in the weeds. These exploded drawings, they are simple and straightforward in the sense of how they go together, but they don't allow us to put easily, or some of us easily put that all into a 3D model, so to speak. So if you're going to do it for the first time, take lots of photographs as you go through. Have paper towels. There's going to be grease that's inside of there. Everything is coated. Okay. This cam plug is part of the operating keyed function of the lock, and what is part of the installation of how you're actually going to force the unit to be in the locked position or the unlocked position. And this piece works with the cam, with the plunger unit is what this works in conjunction with. It will put you into a position of keeping it in the locked or unlocked position. Finally, there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Schlage products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. Schlage is a name that I'm quite partial to when it comes to lock sets. There are many things that I like about what they do. Great technical support. I am a firm believer in the quality of the product and the approach by which they go to manufacturing lock sets. They are very accommodating. I just ordered a couple of days ago a lock for a door thickness that's not even listed in their price list. And while it was incredibly expensive, like coal shovel for the amount of money that you need, they're able to do it. And they're not unique in that regard, but there is maybe a willingness to be, they make themselves approachable. You need a lock for an unusual door thickness or a cylinder that's a weird length? Ask. They'll look into it. They've got the machines, and if they can physically make it, they generally oblige. Any questions on the A301-402 cam unit or any other Schlage product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.